13. Disaster management. Students, here two words are there. One is disasters and second one is that management. First of all, we would understood the both words meaning. Disaster means, what do you mean by disaster? Disaster means problematic situation of the earth, and the management is that how can we tackle that problems which are occur suddenly. So that is called management. As the word disaster strike our ears, we know that it awakes fear and the dread in our mind. Disasters are also commonly known as a calamity. Calamity means the problems happening and the catastrophes. Along with disasters, one always think of destructions and loss. The disasters, when disasters comes, it will comes with problematic situations and the destructions and the loss of property and the loss of lives. We are aware of the risk of disaster. The reason for the planning of scarcity and the relief operation must be taken into the account and the detail of the circumstances responsible for it. Since the information is very useful for our rescue operations, experts in the disaster management have divided the disasters into two parts. Here, students, we can see that the disasters are in the two parts. Which two parts are there? The one is natural disasters and second one is that man-made disasters. Now, what do you mean by natural disasters, students? Natural disasters means the problematic situations which are occurred by nature. In that types of problematic situations, human beings is not responsible for that. Direct or indirect, that nature is the responsible for that situations. That is called natural disasters. While man-made disasters means that direct or indirect, the human beings are responsible for that types of situations. Now here we can see which types of natural disasters are there. So first one is that earthquake, volcano, drought, forest fire, flood, tsunami and the hurricanes. These types of all disasters are the natural disasters. While which types of man-made disasters? That fire, industrial accidents, bomb blast and the riots. These four types of disasters are there that are done by man-made disasters. Either directly or indirectly human beings are involved. Students, after that, all these disasters are extremely destructive and the damaging. We know that when disasters happen, it will destructive and the damaging. Forecast of flood, tsunami, hurricanes and droughts is possible. So we get the time to save from it and the loss of lives can be avoided. While the forecast of the earthquake, volcano and the forest fire is the possible, so there is the possibilities of heavy destructions. Here is that the earthquake, volcanoes are there, forest fire is that. Okay, when forest fire happens, the volcano is that and the earthquake are that. These are the heavy destruction should be there. Now students, here we will learn about the natural disasters like earthquake, hurricanes, tsunami, flood and the drought. So first of all, we are going to learn about here earthquake. Generally the vibrations experienced on the earth's surface is called earthquake. Students, what do you mean by the earthquake? Earthquake is that the vibrations of the earth. When the earth should be vibrate, okay, that type of experience when happens, that is called earthquake. A geological process that take place in the earth crust is responsible for this phenomenon. Area with the weak surface of the earth are considered to be an earthquake prone area. Such area can be identified, but the accurate earthquake predictions is not possible. Here is that such areas can be identified. Okay, due to technology, we can identify that these types of vibration should be there on the earth, but we cannot stop it. So when these disasters take place, we have to bear and heavy loss of life and the property. Here you can see in the pictures also that, okay, when earthquake happens, then loss of life should be there and the property should be down. Okay, students. After that, what are the precautions should be taken in the time of earthquake? What we have to do when earthquake happen? Students, we cannot stop it, but we can do some things that we can save our lives and the properties. So here is that what to do, what we can do at that time when these types of situations happening. Sit under the bench in the classroom. When suppose we are in classroom, at that time what we have to do? We have to sit under the bench, not on the bench. Okay, because when vibration should be there, at that time benches should be vibrate. And if you are on the desk or benches, maybe you will be fall down. So instead of sitting on the bench, you have to sit under the bench. Second is stay away from the electric poles and the wires. If we are in school or house, at that we have to stay away from the electric poles and wires, because when vibration should be there, okay, it may be break down, and if living wire should be there, it should be damaged to us. After that, third one is that know about the authentic news through the radio and TV. Okay, we have to start to listening the news from the radio or the television. Okay, so we can get the such news are there, and we can understood what will happen and what we have to do. Okay, we have to stop the rumors. After that, what not to do, what we cannot do at that time? Not to shout and panic. We cannot shout such things, or we cannot panic. Not to use elevators to get down from the tall buildings. If tall buildings should be there, we have not to use elevators. Not to switch on the device like gas or electricity in the house without surety. If in house we are there, we have to switch off the gas or electricity. Okay, because maybe short circuit should be there. Okay, and if gas leakage should be there, then we have to be in problematic situation. So these types of things we have to stop. Okay. Okay. After that, here we can see that, students, the earthquake in Gujarat chronicle is that. Okay, they have given the informations about the earthquake. Total there are 3 times of earthquake should be there in Gujarat. The first time earthquake should be 16 June 1819. The place should be Kutch is that, and the Richter scale should be 8.2. And the second one is that is 12 July 1915. The Anjar place should be Anjar is that, and that is also in Kutch. And the Richter scale, that is should be 6.1. And the third one should be there, that 16 January 2001. Maybe these types of this earthquake your parents should have experienced. It is also happen in Kutch, and maybe Richter scale should be 7.6 or 7.7, and the place should be Kutch, and the cities are there: Bhuj, Bachau, Anjar, and Rapar should be there. Okay, these places are there. This happens, and the lots of losses lives, and the property should be lost. Okay, students. After that, the cyclone. The enormous atmosphere storms arise from the conditions and the imbalance in the atmospheric air pressure. It is known as the hurricanes or cyclone. Where the cyclone strikes, it creates the heavy destructions and the havoc. Heavy destructions affect the experience in the east coast of India, Malabar coast, and in the coast of Kutch. Now here the precautions should be taken during the cyclone. What we have to do during the time of cyclones? So before cyclone, okay, when we are getting such informations on the cyclones, what we have to do to accurate know the detail of the cyclone prone areas. The cyclone prone areas are there, students. We have to reach there, and we have should be detail of that. So these types of area we can go there, so we can save our lives, and such things should be there. Migrate according to the instructions of the department. We have to listen the news from the air departments and the weather departments, and we have to follow such instructions. If you are in the low-lying area near sea, go to the high-lying areas. Okay, suppose we are staying as the low level area, then we cannot stop there, we cannot stay there, we have to go the high lying areas. Keep food, torch, drinking water, clothes, radio, necessary medicines ready. Turn off the electricity and the gas connections, and listen the radio for the accurate information. Students, we have to listen the television or the radio news. We cannot see at that time the social media, because sometimes some social medias are coming rumors, like Facebooks are there, WhatsApps are there, they are spreading rumors. So it's better we have to listen radio or the television news. Now during cyclone, what we have to do, students? So close the doors and windows on getting the warning. When we are getting the warnings, okay, we have to close the doors and the windows. If you are in the schools, don't go out of the classroom. And suppose, students, you are in the classrooms, you have to stay in the class only. You should not go out of the class. If you are in the vehicles, park it away from the electric pole, trees, away from the sea, and the remains inside the vehicle. But suppose, students, you are traveling or you are in the vehicle, we have to park the vehicles at the open area, and we have to see wherever we are parking the vehicles, around that area, that electric pole should not be there. Follow strictly the instructions of the management of the rescue centers, and we have to try to understand the situations and the informations regarding the weathercast department. Relieve animals from the hook. If they are released, they can go and save themselves. Suppose we are farmers or we have the pet animals at our house, at that times we have to relieve them. We cannot build, okay? We cannot stay there with the hook, because if they are relieved, then they can save their lives easily. Do not take the shelters under the hoardings or trees. We cannot stay under the trees or the hoardings, because when the cyclone should be there, it can be fall down. After cyclone, what we have to do, students?